So he will retake his position on the grid, fourth. So your front row is Tig Buckley from Ireland, running the Irish plate. He is the Irish champion. He's visited us once before. Came and competed with us at the May Bank Holiday doubleheader at Rowrah and showed Riley Cranham that he's not the only quick guy out there. Riley Cranham is behind him on row number 2, and alongside Tig Buckley is Joe Lewis in the number 7. So those are your two. So engines now being restarted. And we go off and racing, and someone's got a bit of a slow start. Looks to be Teddy Woodard on the 31. Drops way down the order as they go up the hill for the first time. And it looks like Riley Cranham has got the whole shot and has already taken the lead. But watch out, he's got, it looks like it's going to be a battle between him and Buckley yet again. And it looks like Max Haller is up into 4th place. Oh, and there's a bit of, oh, someone's gone very sideways. The number 16 is now off the track. So let's get a replay of that. And that was and that's chat now. Oh, there was a little bit of contact between the 57 of Jackson Lane, and then that also put Chadler Mann from Ireland also onto the curbs on the inside of the chicane, as the leaders now come through the final couple of corners. Round the final turn they come, being led by Riley Cranham. Tig Buckley in 2nd, Lewis in 3rd, Haller now up into 4th position. Mason Thurlow's just set the fastest lap of the race, as it's 3 wide up the hill. Oh my goodness! Lewis on the inside, Buckley in the middle, Cranham on the outside. Lewis takes the lead. So that was definitely one of those items where those times where you just think that's not going to happen. That's clearly not going to happen, and it does. And I have to say, credit where credit is due with all the competitors here in the Bambino Kart Club. When we see clean, fast racing like we are doing right now, it just goes to show that they can show the old experienced hands how it is done, and they are learning by such a metronomic rate. It astounds me. So they come around the final corner yet again. The top 4 still squabbling away. Cranham now takes the lead. Lewis 2nd. Tig Buckley now in 3rd. And also Max Haller in 4th. Other drivers on the move, Teddy Woodard and Ethan Woodward up into 6th and 7th. They've both got past Senna Blue Breslin. So, oh, there we go. Max Haller's being very, very cheeky indeed behind Tig Buckley. He's putting the feelers out on the Irish champion to try and get past and get into 3rd position. But we still have over 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in this particular heat. Fastest lap of the race at the moment is with Joe Lewis, 55.77. But Lewis is definitely on the attack, on the offensive, very much so, against Riley Cranham. But whilst these two are battling, Tig Buckley is going to be right in the mix, and we've seen what this youngster from Ireland can do. He showed that at Rowrah. He's showing it again here at Glan-Y-Gors. As it's now Lewis going up on the inside of Cranham, retakes the lead once again. Now Cranham has got back into the tow straight away, is bump drafting him up at the top of the hill. Buckley is following suit and going with them. They now go through the chicane before they go down the hill. As, there we go, Cranham now retakes the lead from Joe Lewis. So it's going to be, again, it's going to be a case of who's going to basically hold everything off until we get to, like, say, the last minute and a half of this race, plus an additional lap, because there will be one driver that will think, you know what, I've got a chance, I've got an opportunity. They'll go for it, believe you me. And we could find that out in about 3 or so minutes' time when we get to the conclusion of this particular heat, as Cranham is being overtaken yet again by Joe Lewis. It is quite literally a slipstream fest between the pair of them going up that hill into turn number 2. So Lewis now retakes the lead from Cranham. Tig Buckley in 3rd. And Lewis has gone very defensive on the inside line there, keeps the place ahead of Cranham. And it looks like that Thurlow and Woodard are together as well. Then you've also got Woodward and Clark. So that's another interesting battle that's going to ignite very shortly, I believe, as they come down the hill into the nice sweeping section. As we do have one driver, that is Jackson Lane, the number 57, who's actually not competed anymore in this race. And, up at the top of the hill, Cranham, I think, is going for the lead yet again, and he's got it. And Buckley has gone out of nowhere, side by side with Lewis into turn number 2, and takes second place from the number 7. He could have actually, if he'd had enough run-up, he probably might have got past Cranham as well. So with 2 minutes and 48 seconds plus an additional lap to go, the lead changes yet again. Riley Cranham, current O-Plate champion in the Bambino Kart Club this season, took the GP plate last year, is now having to fend off Ty Buckley, excuse me there, and Joe Lewis. So this is a very interesting battle. I'm just keeping an eye on what's happening because Max Haller is now having a very lonely race stand in fourth, but it'll be good points for the number 36 from Balsall Common. As it's swapping over left, right and centre. It's almost 3 wide yet again up at the top of the hill between the 3 leaders. Lewis retakes the lead. Buckley now back down into third behind Cranham. Oh, and hello to Darren S. Cook from Scruffy Bear Pictures. Stunning coverage. Well, Velvet Tone commentating. Well, mate, thank you. Thank you to, well, we all say thank you. But meanwhile, this battle for the lead is still intensifying as we got just under 1 minute and 45 on the clock. Cranham was trying to go for the lead on Lewis. So we'll keep an eye on this lead battle. This is going to be one of those ones where it is going to go down to the wire yet again in the Bambino IAME division. It's been nothing but action-packed from the word go when we started back at Wilson Mill in March, and it's still keeping those notches turned up past. You know, if you had a volume setting at setting 10, you'd still be at number 11 plus. As Cranham is right on the back bumper of Joe Lewis going up to the top of the hill. Is he going to get the move done again? No, he isn't. There's not enough run-up for the 0 plate from Ormskirk. But he still has time to get past Joe Lewis. He goes to the outside down the hill, tries to get the momentum carried into that corner, and it's not quite worked out yet. He goes a bit wider than Lewis as well, maybe to carry the momentum as he's doing that again. So some drivers are finding that sweeping out to the outside and using the momentum to carry through. There's just a couple of corners on this lap to go. There's just 40 seconds plus an additional lap yet to go. So they'll cross the line now. They'll have this and another lap to go. Meanwhile, the battle with the likes of Mason Thurlow, Teddy Woodard, Thomas Clark and Ethan Woodward is still going guns ablaze, and that is from 5th until 8th position. As they're now coming around to complete another lap. We're now on lap number 8, 15 on the clock. Looks like Ty Buckley has decided to settle for 3rd position, but I don't think Riley Cranham is thinking of saying, I just want 2nd. No, he wants 1st. As, there's a bit of a move there. Looks like Teddy Woodard's lost out to Thomas Clark. And Ethan Woodward is nearly side by side with him as well, going up to the top of the hill. Oh, and here we go. The leaders are coming into the final sector. It's now going to be the final lap very, very shortly. But Lewis has gone ultra, ultra defensive on Riley Cranham. They're now heading down into the final corner. And it's going to be one more lap to go between Joe Lewis and Riley Cranham. Let's keep an eye on the lead battle as they go into turn 1 for the final time of asking. We go up the hill for the last time. Cranham has got the slipstream. He's right behind Lewis, who looks on over his left shoulder. And Cranham tries to go to the inside, but can't make it stick. Up the second part of the incline on the hill they go. Still about a kart length and a half, but Cranham has about just over half a lap to get the job done. So Lewis still leads. Cranham 2nd. Tyg Buckley in 3rd. But we still need to keep an eye on the leaders as they come into sector number 3 for the final time of asking. They now cross into the final sector. Cranham went on to the outside to try and get the momentum switch. But is it going to be enough? He's still got only a couple of corners left to go, and Joe Lewis might just hold on to this by the skin of his balaclava. They come around the final corner, and Joe Lewis takes the win, fractionally ahead of Riley Cranham by just 0.09 of a second. Tig Buckley takes third. Max Haller comes around the final corner to take fourth position. Now this battle behind. And who's taken this one? Oh, Thomas Clark has just put Mason Thurlow to the line, ahead of Teddy Woodard and Ethan Woodward. But what a battle to the finish. Great job by Joe Lewis to take the win by just 0.09 seconds ahead of Riley Cranham. So, for the final time before we go to the lunch break, as I can hear cheers of jubilation in the Lewis camp downstairs in the cafeteria, let's run through the final finishing order before we go to our customary lunch break. So Joe Lewis by 0.09 seconds wins heat number 3 for Bambino IAME, ahead of O-Plate champion Riley Cranham. Tig Buckley from Ireland, the Irish champion, finishes in third place ahead of Max Haller. Thomas Clark won the battle between himself, Mason Thurlow, Teddy Woodard and Ethan Woodward from 5th to 8th respectively. Laith Khan finished at 9th at the flag ahead of Jacob Giblett-Lee, with Cole Glover, Chad Leman, Senna Blue Breslin and Jackson Lane rounding out the 14 strong order.